is Nancy Paradis. I'm artistic director of LA Dance Moves, and I'm really glad you're here with us today. And this documentary is just a little story for you to help share what this project's about, how we got there, and the backstory. So this is the first day of our rehearsal of the summer project that what's happening, the title for me is Coming Up Live and Intimate. You know, just this connection to the composer, to the music filling us. As dance heals us, so does music, you know. And how can we interpret this in a way that I think has never been done before. This is a moment in history, of LA Dance Moves history, of us getting to work with you, Frederick, and that you being part of our, concept. We have some choreography for you and staging, but they are 100% ready to respond to your music in real time. Okay. So I wanted to do something beyond music and dance, and find a way to merge it, and that we honor each other's worlds. So we bring a composer into our world, but then we also step into his or her world. And how we do that, well, let's figure that out together. And I think that's the real process of rehearsal, and allowing, let's see what comes up today. Just gentle movement going on at him.
It's like bringing me to life.
All three of you could,
You could actually just take my hands and place them.
Ooh, I like that. And they lift and then place them down.
Try that, yeah. Okay.
So if I have you...
I think I have to come more upright, so I'm dragging out.
Dragging? What do you mean?
You can help me come upright.
Oh, okay. So it's almost like I'm putting you back to your point, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
That would
We'll
be
do
great.
it like normal.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's all you need.
That's better.
So the backstory of this project is I wanted to honor the process of a composer creating music, because I personally will never know what that feels like, but I know it's something really special and really intimate and for that composer. And I think it's godly. They're starting from nothing, and then they download and play this music. Nice, Tara.
I know that I have this particular gift, if you want to call it, and I don't view it egotistically or anything. It's just something that I do, sort of channel this music or have this music flow through me. The only forum that I ever had for it was I put it in a film that I did, The Accompanist, and that was really nice to use my own piano music in that. So I've tried to use my music in films, but I've never done it with dancers.
So here we go. Over there, young lady. Over there, young
chair.
man.
Okay.
All right, sit in that chair, and you
Okay.
have some time also, Jason. This spot you're not so comfortable in, and over here you're not so comfortable in.
Okay.
Because this is your place, and Elise, the music, and all that represents is your place.
Okay. Anytime I'm doing a piece, I feel that the first few rehearsals, getting the steps, I'm in a much more technical headspace. So I'm just wanting to get it in my body, getting the technique in to the point where I don't need to think about what I'm doing. And then that's when I can start to add the emotional layer.
For me, it takes a minute to trust somebody. And I've worked with Elise before. I already started this trust with me and her personally. And the more and more we started rehearsing together, I started opening up more and trusting more, and wanting to dive in emotionally more. So it was definitely very similar with, the technical aspect in the beginning, and then as we danced more together, I started trusting Elise even more, to where then it was just the floodgates of just, all these different scenarios of mine personally that I was bringing in. Some things for me were in the moment emotionally.
So the concept behind Back to the Heart is having live music with dancers. It just so happened that they never were going to hear the music except for the first time, because our composer plays live improvisational piano. Because when I first presented this idea to you, tell me really what you thought.
A heart attack a little bit. Oh, that could be scary. It was awesome. I was excited. And then I think after we had that first improv workshop, it brought back a lot of memories of work that I had done years before, but hadn't worked on or tried for a really long time. And so just kind of like resurfacing those kinds of things, and then realizing that we were gonna have more choreography than we thought we were in the beginning. I was like, okay, this is cool. We're gonna have both aspects here joining together, which I think is exciting.
So, like, heavy, just, there's stuff going on. You almost have to force yourself to get started with your day. And so if you can, as I'm working with Elise, sort of conceptualize that.
Okay.
Yeah. You ever fallen asleep someplace not in your bed, someplace else, or, on the couch or something, and you wound up taking a nap, and then you wake up, like, where am I? This is what's going to happen.
Okay.
So go ahead and put your left leg, I'll show you, it'll be easier. You're just going to be like
But I had worked for many years as an accompanist, and I have a huge just passion for ballet and dancers and the beauty of it and everything. So to see it all come together with something that I feel like I'm good at, with something that these dancers are really gifted at, is kind of a special combination of talents. And I think that your particular gift is to have a vision of, as an artistic director or director of a company, to do something different.
So it's pretty much, how life just really knocks you down. And, having this role specifically for me based off of the conversations that we've had. It's been kind of hard to just keep going and whatnot. But there are little bitty spurts of light pretty much bringing me in and like thinking about me.
So for me, I personally did not have a start to end storyline in my head, but I went through every moment and I had really deep emotional experiences from different parts of my life that I brought into that moment. And so each moment I went through.
I feel like she brings me to life. Like I'm a fantasy person, but as soon as she touches me, it's like something you see in the movies where I come to life. And I'm actually able to feel something.
The minute Frederick showed up and we started rehearsing, it was game time. I really felt like we were all three in this completely different moment for that 6 minutes. I was not in this studio. I was going through something. I think he had a huge part to play in this show, and especially in our 6-minute duet, for sure.
Even if I am sort of a fantasy, am I a threat? I'm this older, sophisticated guy, I don't know.
well,
Yes.
choreographically, yeah, we have it in here. It'd be like, almost like you get into a trance.
Okay.
Like, I'm having so much fun. And then you're just, like, you can't see him anymore. It's just, I gotta get over here.
Went invisible.
And for you, where are you going now? And then,
Like Clara, every year she
We had so much fun. What are you doing?
fight for Clara.
and this is, I need to see Dark Chasing here.
Dog chasing. Okay.
So I started taking myself more seriously and doing more serious and I guess dramatic works that had stories to it and emotion and had the audience feel something. How this truly came to be is from my father. He's a musician, multi-instrumentalist, arranger, composer, and a conductor of the Marine Corps Band and Wind Ensemble. His music, I remember it as a little girl. It was joyful. It was, it just made everyone happy with big band and wind ensemble and just fun stuff. And at my dad's funeral, my mom surprised me with his conductor score. And she said, you know what, Nancy, this is your father's. If anyone can do something with this, you can. So see what you can do. It was an honor, and it touched me very much. But I was able to recreate my dad's arrangement at the Moore Park College Wind Ensemble. And the professor there really dug into the project. He said, "This is cool, I like this, yeah, let's do this." It just kind of rekindled my love for music. And I remember then in that process, creating that concert, that I wanted to be able to figure out a way to merge composers and their music and dance. And to, instead of having the separation, figure out a way to merge it and collaborate. And it started then, and that was about 7 years ago. Sunlight bar.
This is actually perfect.
Guys, how come you're out here? Oh, they're not open yet?
No.
Oh, whoops. Hannah! Hi! We're getting drama today. Do you have any drama? Got the tan.
I'd shaved the beard, I left the mustache. I might shave the mustache for the performance.
The stash is gonna
Because, you know, I've got the Dolce suit. I want to look really good.
All right, easy does it. Front, side, back, bring it in. Hold.
When I saw how what the framework of the story was, and how not just technically how good the dancers were, which I really admire, but how open you were and how you were free to explore, then it allowed me to go within this world. Just the touch.
I think the touch is gonna be really nice.
So that's when I first come out, and then I roll. That's when he normally touches.
And then he touches you, yeah.
Maybe that's more subtle, right?
It's subtle and
Rather
yeah.
than-
Like these chaînés should be at him. And then,
Yeah.
ooh! Yeah.
And then I could start like that, maybe. So even when I go like this, I'm just experiencing it, but I can now move my hand and just feel it.
That's
What do you
cool.
think? Maybe, you know, in my mind I'm thinking I composed this piece, and now here this fantasy is taking place maybe in my mind, and I'm just enjoying it.
I love that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my thought.
Yeah.
I love it.
I wanted to go to the piano because I needed to go over there, and I felt really torn because I was leaving Chasen.
I mean, I got pretty protective very fast. There was some kind of like story that started developing naturally. You know, I felt like he was giving Elise something that I couldn't.
My favorite part of dancing is when I really get to tell a story. So I connected with that movement a lot.
In that improv section, you know, stared at me because I could feel your energy. I know that a lot of times my best work comes from just letting go. Trust your technique and trust your body.
It's mic'd on the inside, and then this cord runs down. The process behind this particular project was, one, is this going to work? Because in a way, it was a dare. How you feeling, duetters?
Ready? You've been so ready.
It's beautiful here.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I like a close-up.
Movement 1 and 3 is right at your feet, right along the pole, and it's going to get the reflection. The duet had recorded music, but the movement 1 and movement 2 was live improvisational that they're never going to hear except for showtime. And my thought was, and this kept me up at night, is how are we going to do this?
Probably it is a prototype, but I think it's a prototype as far as your vision will take it.
But the good news is what happens later.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
Work your magic chair. Let's do this, guys. Here we go.
Stand by. And playback. And cut. One more.
Though, yeah or no?
No, you can go all the way off. And get rid of it.
Went from there, just like, there's just things that kind of change and develop within the moment, even show day. Like, it never ended.
Yeah. Rock. How about you stay looking at it? Rock. Go on, and then
Okay.
she'll stay.
Oh,
Yeah. So that connection
Yeah.
stays. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I had to listen a lot more.
It was a different level of alertness for me, I think. Going into the space, not knowing what was going to come out of those keys, out of Frederick's hands, I had to be like that much more in tune to it. I had to listen for it much more.
Especially in the ballet world, it's really, if you do improvisational dance, it's unforgiven to have an improper line, or to not have a step that's perfect.
In school, we had like a lot of experimental work done, and then it's been years since we've done it, so it's kind of just going back and getting that way of thinking back into moving again.
That experience of working with all of you, it really allowed me to explore my own gift, but then it explored that in conjunction with what you all had to offer.
You know, like for me, it's just sitting outside or going on my walks or doing this. You know, so finding that for yourself. Where's that place where Elise gets to refuel herself? You know, because you're so lovely and giving and kind.
In a way, I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience.
It almost felt real, like in the moment, this story was real.
These weren't just steps we danced. We told a story, and we made the audience come with us on that story.
Myself, I have had to pick up other friends when they're down and vice versa. So I really went into, my history of having to help friends when they are struggling, kind of lost and need that support.
One thing that really blew me away is that every single dancer was a brilliant actor as well, because the dancers gave so much, and I was so blown away by the generosity and the acting part of what your dancers did. All of them, like without exception. That really made the experience for me 10 times better.
Him being a filmmaker and an actor and a screenwriter, I mean, he just above and beyond, talented, just jumped into his role, interacting with the dancers. He's being touched from behind. He's, just all in. And yes, I was blown away by his willingness to go to uncharted territories.
This show in particular, I feel like I peeled off a little extra layer that I haven't done in a hot second as far as dance is concerned. I still had it with me after some of our scenes, and it would take me a minute to calm down.
What I love about dancing is when there's that freedom and that expression that you can't use words for. When we performed that, and even in most of the rehearsals, I felt that a lot, and that's what I was looking for to enhance.
This project turned out more than I could have ever imagined because of the artists and that willingness to go somewhere they haven't gone before and to trust me and the process. And what happened on film day and then in front of the audience were little moments of just these magical interactions and true connections as people. Just was overwhelmed with